Super Bowl is the end goal for every team in the NFL. Every NFL player dreams of hoisting the Lombardi Trophy and hugging your family in celebration. It's an achievement that can even elude some of the best players in NFL history. In this video, I'm going to be giving my prediction for the next 5 Super Bowl winners. Obviously, I don't expect all 5 of these to be correct, or maybe none of them will be correct. The main point is to showcase the young talent in the NFL currently and who I believe has the best chance at the next 5 Super Bowls. Before we get started, here's the criteria. This is based on these teams' current rosters, factoring in young talent mostly, coaching, and each team's Super Bowl window. This is just my opinion. Anything can happen, and any of these teams could fall off just as easily as they could win a Super Bowl. The NFL is always changing and full of surprises. I'll just be predicting Super Bowl winners, not Super Bowl matchups, as that gets too complex. Thank you for clicking on this video, and I hope you enjoy. For the very next Super Bowl, my pick will be the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have a prediction like this every year since Lamar's breakout, and they always seem to fall short. Getting past the Bills and the Chiefs in the AFC is no easy task, and the Ravens have to be up for that task every year. Not to mention they have Joe Burrow and the Bengals in the same division with them 2 times a year. The Ravens' road to the Super Bowl is not an easy one, but I think this could possibly be the team to get them there. Lamar is coming off of by far the best season of his young career, where he showcased not just scrambling ability, but true passing ability as well, and deserved an MVP. They're led by a reliable and consistent coach in Coach Harbaugh, and this team is just loaded with stars. Just the secondary alone consists of Marlon Humphrey, Kyle Hamilton, and newly signed Jair Alexander, who they got on an impressively cheap deal. There's not a single position group you can point to and say that it's truly bad for the Ravens. It's a very well-rounded team with my personal best quarterback in the NFL right now leading the way, and I think sky is the limit for Baltimore. The versatility of their run game combined with their stout defense is the perfect combination for a deep playoff run, and then when you combine that with a veteran and experienced coaching staff, this team is capable to go as far as they want to go. Once they find some consistency on the defensive side of the ball and can keep guys healthy, they're the team to beat in the AFC this year for me. In 2027, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. This one might be a boring pick, I know, but I feel like I can't have a conversation about Super Bowl winners without talking about the Chiefs. Luckily, I think this is the last chip of their dynasty they win, but regardless, for 2027, I have them snagging another Super Bowl ring. This team can be annoying with how over-talked about they are and how much media attention they get, plus maybe even some favoritism from the NFL. But I think people forget how good and well-built this team actually is. Obviously, they have the elite Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, but outside of that, the team is just built perfectly for Andy Reid's scheme. Some people may think that Mahomes is the main reason behind the dynasty they've put forward, and there's obviously some truth to that, but in my opinion, I'm not so sure this dynasty even exists without Andy Reid as coach. He has been one of the best coaches of the last decade and has shown the ability to win even when your roster just is decent in some ways. By 2027, Kelsey will more than likely be retired, but I don't think that affects them as much as they had a Super Bowl berth just last year with one of Kelsey's worst seasons. As long as they can hold on to this coaching staff with Spagnuolo and Reid, I see no reason why they will exit the Super Bowl conversation for the next 3 years. Mahomes had a down year, but is still in his prime. Rashee Rice broke out, and if he can stay out of trouble, they have their true wide receiver 1. The defense is always going to be a complex blitzing unit that's going to be hard to predict as long as Spagnuolo is calling the shots, and it doesn't hurt to have a Hall of Fame coach who has implemented consistency from day one. I think the Chiefs grab one more on the way out of their dynasty in 2027.
War time! We're coming for blood and everything that everything that got.
Jared. 2028, I have the Detroit Lions. My way too early prediction here, it has to be the Lions in my opinion. I do think they will at least sneak in one Super Bowl before Jared Goff has left Detroit. The team is star-studded and has a fiery and in-your-face head coach in Dan Campbell. Campbell is the best thing to happen to the Lions in a long time, and he has built a super young and talented team. I don't think this team has a Chiefs-like dynasty run or anything like that, but I do think that this roster has a lot of potential to do some great things if they're able to keep their core, which I have no doubt that they will. Jahmyr Gibbs is the future of the running back position, clearly. If David Montgomery is still on the team by this time, he's in the mix as well. Jared Goff would be 33 years old and still at the age where he could have some juice left. Aiden Hutchinson is one of the best young defenders in the NFL, and Dan Campbell is a young coach with a lot of years ahead of him in Detroit. The recipe is there for an eventual Super Bowl victory, and I think they will snag one before their Super Bowl window closes. And finally, Lion fans, years of torture would be over. (2029), I have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles would have to sneak in here at some point. They have the best front office in the entire NFL, and not only are just their players young, but the front office and coaching staff is as well. Howie Roseman only just turned 50, and Nick Sirianni is only 44 years old. These two are here to stay in Philadelphia for years to come, and they've already proven their competence. Roseman always finds a way to make the right moves and is masterful at moving money around to bring in more stars. Sirianni is a hands-off coach, but lets his players do the talking, and it's a method that has worked for him so far. Jalen Hurts is only 26 years old, and he wouldn't even be 30 yet by this time. Saquon Barkley would only be 31 years old and still have more than enough juice left. And if Derrick Henry can do it, why can't Saquon Barkley? Really, this entire offense is 30 or under, with the exception of a few offensive linemen. The defense is the same way, and they've had some major breakouts from their newly drafted talents, like Kenyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, Jalen Carter, and Nakobe Dean. All of these players are slated to be stars going forward. This team is built for it to be competitive for years to come, and I have full faith that Howie Roseman will be able to keep this core nucleus together for the next couple years. And if that happens, I can't see them not taking at least one more Super Bowl home to Philly. (2030), I have the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are super intriguing to me. Jayden Daniels is only 24 years old at this time and also will not even be 30 yet. I think it's pretty clear by now that he's on pace to be the next top 5 quarterback in the league, and I think he's going to have Washington competitive every year from here on out. Dan Quinn is older, but still young enough to stick around in Washington for another 5 years at least, and people forget that offense isn't even his specialty. This guy is a defensive-minded head coach and managed to get a quarterback like Jayden Daniels who he doesn't have to worry about doing too much developing with. The Washington defense has potential to be something great going forward with him at the helm, and they've already had some drafted guys who showed out for them last year on both sides of the ball. The team is super young, fresh, and new, and they've already made an NFC championship game with an undeveloped roster. I think giving Dan Quinn more time here in Washington could lead to them doing great things moving forward and having some major success. Thank you guys for watching.